Good morning. Welcome to True Corn. I'm Janet. This is Let's Talk Connect. Today, let's connect on perspective. Let's connect on how you look at something. Wayne Dyer loves to quote, "When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change." And it's not just a saying. It really is true that if you change the way you look at something, then suddenly you see that something quite differently. I was recently walking around my running route, my walking route, and I came across this little baby bird, or it came across me is really more like it. So I saw it kind of out of my peripheral vision. I saw this little bird, and it kind of hit the ground kind of hard. It was kind of like a thud. So it kind of got my attention, and I looked over at it, and I was, was kind of just looking at it for the longest time because it didn't move. Didn't seem to be anything wrong with it, but it just didn't move. And anyway, the parent birds were kind of nearby, so I could kind of see them too. But I felt like the instinct to help this bird. That was my first instinct. Well, what can I do for this bird? And it's like, well, really, what would I do for this bird? Would I bring it home and what would I do with this bird? I don't know how to take care of a little bird. And anyway, but I was really stuck in that vein of I need to help this bird somehow. I need to help this bird. And so I then I thought, the parent birds are there. Maybe I should just let nature take its course and just, what? If I didn't see the bird, it would just be there and life would go on. So I just continued, and I went, on my route, and my route took me about a mile down the road. And anyway, I came back, and there was the bird. It was still there. And I thought, oh gosh, now I'm really wow, this poor little bird. So, but I wasn't going to bring it home. So I'm like, what can I do for this bird, And it seemed like it was all alone now. I didn't even really see or hear any other birds nearby. Anyway, so I went and I found a feather. There were in the corner of this parking lot or whatever. There was a bunch of feathers. So I grabbed this feather, and I went over to the bird, and I just took it, and I just gently put this feather on the back of its head a couple, 3 times, and it started to hop around. And so I'm like, okay, so I guess I thought it was stunned maybe or something from the fall out of the sky, but it seemed like it was okay. It seemed like it was hopping around pretty good. So I was like, oh, all right, well, that's a good thing. And so it kind of hopped away a little ways away, and then it just sat there again. And so I watched it again for what seemed like quite a while, and I went up and I did that again with the feather. And this time it really started hopping up a lot. It seemed like it was hopping all over the place, and I was like, huh, wow, look at that. And it suddenly kind of dawned on me that the first thing a bird learns how to do is fly. Because if they're in a nest, and the nest is generally elevated so that predators can't easily see these little birds, these baby birds. So it's elevated, and then the parent bird pushes the bird out, and it just flaps its wings and flies, but it doesn't really walk. It's not walking around the nest, waiting for the wings to grow. At least I don't think so. But anyway, so it suddenly dawned on me that this bird who flew and then hit the ground like a thud, maybe needed help in walking and hopping and getting some momentum so that it could flap its wings and then fly. Anyway, I just thought that was a really interesting, and it was really an uplifting experience that day, but it reminded me of when you change the way you look at something, then the way you see something changes. And anyway, just my true corn story for the day. So thanks for stopping by. See you next time.